Tonight on Connecticut's news station, developing news out of West Haven, where a body was recovered from a boat ramp. Why the harbor master says to be alert near the water this time of year.
Focusing on solutions, the efforts underway at the Capitol to put a stop to gun violence in Connecticut.
And protection for healthcare workers, how a new bill looks to address rising trend of violence toward medical professionals.
Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on the news at 6. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Jen Bernstein. We begin in West Haven now, where police say one man is dead after a boating accident out on the New Haven harbor this morning. This all happened right near the boat ramp just off of April Street this morning. That's where we find Fox 61's New Haven County Bureau reporter Julia LeBlanc joining us live. Julia.
Hi, good evening to you both. Now, West Haven police and Encon police cleared the scene just over an hour ago, but they were here for more than 5 hours just near the boat ramp here while they were investigating what exactly was going on here. All that's left at this point is that white boat that is anchored just offshore, which the harbor master tells us is the bigger boat the man was trying to get to in this scenario when the accident happened. Now, West Haven police tell us that just after 11:30 this morning, that's when they started getting 911 calls about a man in the New Haven harbor. Police say he was in a small boat that capsized. The fire department responded, pulling him out of the water. He was pronounced dead on the scene a short time after. Now, the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection helped with the investigation, and so did the U.S. Coast Guard. We watched as they towed the small boat plus a truck that was still on scene earlier. We also spoke, as I mentioned, with the harbor master here in New Haven. He says that if you're going out on the water, especially on Long Island Sound, you need to prepare.
People at times really don't understand the water and what can actually happen. It's always a case of it isn't going to happen to me.
Now, this time of year, it is actually state law that you need to have a life jacket if you're going to be going out on the water. You need to be wearing it. That is in effect until May 31st. After that, you need a life jacket for everyone who's going to be on the boat, at least nearby. Now, police are not releasing the name of the man who died in this scenario just yet. They have to notify his family, but of course, we will keep you updated. It is still an ongoing investigation. We're live here in West Haven. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Julia, thank you. Well, we're following some breaking news right now out of Kent. State police searching for a missing camper. Take a good look at your screen right now. Police say 60-year-old Marta Renee Bowen went missing from her campsite on the Appalachian Trail in Kent. She has gray hair and brown eyes and is 5'7". Police say she is possibly wearing a maroon puffer jacket and dark pants. Her cell phone and her hiking gear were left behind. Officials say a search is underway right now on the Appalachian Trail. If you have any information, you are asked to call police.
New developments tonight out of Atlanta, Georgia. At least one person was killed after a gunman opened fire inside of a medical building in Midtown. Tonight, a manhunt is underway for the suspected gunman. Police suspect shot 5 people, one of whom died at the scene. According to police, all 5 people who were shot were women. Police say it happened after the suspect became enraged during a visit at the medical facility and then opened fire. Police identifying the suspect as 24-year-old Dion Patterson. He fled the scene after carjacking a vehicle. Police say they're also still looking for the gun that was used in the shooting. Well, in the wake of the shooting at Sandy Hook School, Connecticut lawmakers came together to pass gun violence reforms.
Yeah, now faith leaders coming together to call on lawmakers to fund solutions to apparent constant school shootings and shootings in Connecticut's cities, is what I meant. Fox 61's Samaya Hernandez live in studio with the action that they're calling for today. Samaya.
Yeah, Jen and Ben, faith leaders taking to the Capitol today, and the people that are advocating for these changes, they aren't doing it because they want to. They're doing it because they were called to it because their own lives have been changed by gun violence.
It's been 9 years since Brian Williston was shot and killed on Hartford's Main Street.
He was leaving his workplace and happened to walk out at the same time that someone was running in who was being chased by someone who was shooting after him.
Williston not the intended target in 2014. 12-year-old Secret Pierce sitting in a car last month when shot and killed by bullets police say were meant for males nearby. Capital City detectives processing evidence from a recovered car after Secret was shot and searching for 2 suspects at large, also anticipating an uptick in seasonal violence.
It's constant.
Losing her nephew is what brought Claudette Williston to the Greater Hartford Interfaith Action Alliance. The alliance is made up of priests, reverends, rabbis, and faith leaders from all walks of life. They took to the state capitol Wednesday to advocate for a shared moral agenda on issues like affordable housing, expanding access to health care, and increasing funding for education. The push for solutions to gun violence is what captured Williston.
There's an urge to do something about it.
The alliance wants lawmakers to set aside $20 million for groups working on gun violence prevention and intervention, like the 25-year-old Hartford Communities That Care.
A lot of this legislation can have direct effects, especially the legislation that promises continuity of funding.
Across town, Congressman John Larson meeting with a different 20-year-old crisis intervention team, Mothers United Against Violence, to deliver news of $500,000 in federal earmarks. That announcement 2 days before Secret's family is planning to lay her to rest.
The most important thing is when a family has suffered a devastating losses like that, is the support for people in the community. And that's one thing that we do.
Yeah, that Interfaith Alliance is made up of 50 different congregations and institutions. Now, meanwhile, Senator Blumenthal and Murphy say that they are advocating for local intervention funding for violence for next year's federal budget. I'm live in studio. Samaya Hernandez, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Samaya, thank you. A Connecticut woman is facing charges after TSA at Bradley Airport found a loaded firearm in her carry-on bag. TSA officers also found 2 ammo clips with 20 rounds in her bag. This is the 3rd firearm found by Bradley TSA this year. Officials reminding travelers that you can travel with firearms in checked baggage if they are unloaded, packed separately from ammo, and declared at the airline check-in counter.
To New Haven now, where a shooting investigation is underway. Police saying a person was shot last night in the area of Rosewood Avenue and Hemingway Street. The person shot then drove himself to the fire department on East Grand Street, where he was then taken to Yale New Haven Hospital. We're told he has non-life-threatening injuries. A police canine responded to the scene and found a briefcase with 2 firearms and narcotics inside of it. Anyone with information on the shooting should call police.
And new tonight, Plainfield police arresting a man for allegedly kidnapping a 13-year-old girl and bringing her to a hotel. Police say 22-year-old Connor Tidd of Quincy, Massachusetts is facing multiple charges, including sexual assault. The investigation began in March when the girl was reported missing. Police later learned that Tidd took the girl and brought her to the Elite Inn located in Moosup. Officers found the girl in a hotel room bathroom and found Tidd hiding behind the doorway, trying to elude those officers. He's being held on $500,000 bond. All right, let's turn to the weather right now. Another gloomy day across the state in some parts, but the sun's coming out in a lot of areas as well.
Yeah, we saw some sun outside of our studio here. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now. Hi, Rachel.
Hi. Yeah, a lot of clouds earlier today, some breaks of sunshine, an occasional shower, and that's really how the weather is going to be as we head into tomorrow and Friday. Most of the state stays dry, but we can't rule out a stray shower, and temperatures are certainly cooler than average for this time of year. It's pretty gray right now in the Hartford area, 59 degrees, but I just saw a camera out of Farmington where there's a lot of blue sky, so it just depends on where you are. 57 in New Haven, and we're seeing a brighter scenario towards the Connecticut shoreline. But you'll see all these showers here dancing across the Northeast. The radar really hasn't changed very much over the course of the last few days or so. I do think, though, we see a rising chance for showers tonight with another batch kind of rotating on through. Temperatures right now are in the 50s to right around 60 degrees. We'll see temperatures tonight sliding back towards the 50-degree mark by the news at 11. I do think for 10 and 11 there will be some scattered showers out there, and as we head towards daybreak, we're looking at temperatures starting in the low to mid 40s. Heading through the day tomorrow, a lot of clouds to start off the day, the chance for a shower in spots, and we'll see high temperatures in the 50s, again below average for another day, and mostly cloudy skies around this time tomorrow. We'll do this again for Friday, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel with hours of sunshine heading into the weekend. We'll talk about that and how much warmer temperatures get coming up.
Okay, thanks, Rach. Well, new tonight, a man is facing charges after allegedly stealing catalytic converters in Southington. Police say they used DNA to identify Hagdiel Velasquez. He allegedly stole $1,000 worth of catalytic converters from Yard Metals on Newell Street. Police say Velasquez has been arrested for similar crimes in the past.
A student at Killingley High School was killed in a car crash. That crash happening Monday night on I-395 northbound, right near exit 29 in Plainfield. Police identifying that student as Jane Stockford of East Killingley. The school superintendent sent a letter out to parents and students saying that she was a senior and that counselors were on hand to support students and staff.
An 18-year-old high school student has been arrested in South Windsor after calling a bomb threat into his school. Police were able to trace the phone number back to Tamir Skyers, who lives in Hartford but goes to South Windsor High School. We first brought you this story on scene back in early April when students were evacuated, many put on buses and sent home without their belongings, leaving some locked out of their homes. Skyers surrendered to police and is currently out on bond.
New details tonight in Manchester about a larceny, hostage situation, and manhunt is now dead.
Yeah, police saying that Rai Shashak was related to the owner of the home but had not spoken to the owner in years. They say the owner had planned to meet her boyfriend at the home, but the boyfriend arrived first, encountering Shashak.
Fox 61's Brooke Griffin is there where it all began in Manchester and has more from police.
Connecticut State Police tell us that suspect began his crime spree here in Manchester, but was later found in the woods in Wyndham with several self-inflicted gunshot wounds. They say he was pronounced dead at that scene. Troopers say this all started when 46-year-old Rai Shashak stole a car in New Jersey yesterday morning, then drove to a home in Manchester near Oakland Street and the Tolland Turnpike. Here, police say he took an occupant inside the home hostage. When the homeowner showed up, police say she ran away to a neighbor's house with Shashak chasing behind her. Troopers say the suspect and those two victims did know each other. This was not a random break-in. During this time, Manchester residents in the area were told to stay inside their homes, and Bowers Elementary School was put on a secure mode. Police say the suspect was considered armed and dangerous. Police say Shashak ran away from that area. He turned up several hours later in Wyndham, 25 miles away from the original Manchester scene. Officers tell us he was seen driving a stolen box truck on Wyndham Center Road. That truck was quickly found abandoned. Police say the suspect took off on foot to the tree line. They tell us Shashak led officers on a chase through the woods. He even fired a few shots at police during that pursuit. Troopers say when they caught up to him, he had shot himself several times and was declared dead on the scene. Connecticut State Police are handling this investigation. They say they will continue to look into all of those events that unfolded. And Manchester police say they will also be releasing information from what happened here in their city later today. In Manchester, Brooke Griffin, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Thank you, Brooke. Still